Fire.
I feel we can beat the Browns. We can compete with Baltimore if they have Lamar, and we're right there with them.
That young man put his life on the line for you, for your entertainment.
We were talking all before the game. You know, everyone was like, "Nah, Ravens don't have a shot," and they're right there. What is going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great night. Thank you for being here. This is a Steel Conspiracy, a Ravens and Steelers podcast. Going to be talking through the off season. We'll be talking other sports or maybe some other topics. I'm introducing a new segment tonight, so it's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. It's going to be very exciting. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Big Reg is already in the chat. We'll get some shout outs as soon as we get my two people in here that I could depend on, like the 1st and 15th of every month, to come hang out with me. They are two great gentlemen. I appreciate them both. You already know who they are, and that is Mr. Hendo and Mr. Brodney. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me. I noticed in that intro, it's like 80-20 Ravens to Steelers. I want the next version where the Steelers just aren't even in it.
Well,
I know.
I'm sorry.
The person that made it did a great job, by the way. Great job. A little biased.
First and foremost, it was 50-50. Second of all, if you listen, even when Shook started the show, he started the show off with, "It's a Ravens podcast."
That's right.
You started off with
Ravens. And Steelers.
Exactly.
And Steelers.
Why is it not Steelers and Ravens?
Well, if you look at my post, it says Steelers and Ravens. I just happened to say the Ravens
I know
because that was the last
Big
thing
fan.
in the video.
Big fan.
I'm
Cool
not
talk.
a big fan.
Good talk. Good talk. Good talk.
Already.
Damn.
What's the first thing I said, Bronny?
What did we say? We said control your show, but you said there's going to be a new segment, and I asked you what we're going to talk about. You didn't say anything about a new segment, so I'm very upset already right here at the 3.5 minute mark.
I mean, sure.
I like to have control when I'm live streaming, Chug. Okay? I don't like surprises.
Three of those minutes were his thumbnail.
Hey, are you keeping well, 3 minutes? No, it wasn't 3 minutes. It was like 50 seconds.
It was 30 seconds. It was only 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm just picking with
I
you.
don't know. I know you are. No, I'm not, Big Rich. Stop.
Okay.
All that.
He
Can we
is.
stop?
Yeah.
But welcome. Thank you for being here, you guys. We're gonna first off. I see Hendo just messes me up because we're gonna talk about the Ravens first. The Ravens.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, he just comes on here and messes me up.
It's
let's
Baltimore.
talk about
You're transitioning like every week.
It's Baltimore.
Every week, a little more Baltimore talk.
let's talk about
Who
OC Todd
the
Monken.
hell is Todd Monken?
Oh, sorry. I missed the end. My bad. Hey, hold up. You know what? You did this last week on your show, so I know you ain't talking. There you go. Yes, you absolutely
I've
did.
never misspelled Todd Monken.
Well, no, you misspelled something else, but
If you can't prove that, you don't even know what it was.
Hendo, what city is in your background? It's
Baltimore.
obvious. It's
Baltimore.
Looks a lot cleaner in your picture.
out to
My
Jeremy.
Jesus.
Jeremy Miller. Appreciate you guys for being here. Anyway, OC Todd Monken had his press conference today and talked about one of the things another topic we'll get into, but talking about Lamar Jackson, talking about the offense and what he's going to bring to the table. Obviously, Hendo, you're a Baltimore fan. What did you take from this press conference, and what were you excited about? What weren't you excited about? Or what were you worried about?
First and foremost, I wasn't excited. Second of all, I started watching the press conference, and when John Harbaugh said, "Yeah, my sister introduced me," I turned it off.
He gets older and bitter every week, and more bitter every week, doesn't he? It's like,
Are
when
you
we first
talking about
started
John
doing
Harbaugh or Hendo?
John, I think John's loving life. Nobody can tell John a damn thing. Like when we first started doing this, Hendo was all excited and happy. He would smile every now and then, and now he's just angry.
I'm not angry. It's just, listen. So from what I gather, all the Ravens fans are in love with Todd Monken because he said all the right things. He portrayed the right image, so to speak. He spoke about not putting a fullback one-on-one, trying to get him to win against a linebacker,
which I thought was unnecessary, but whatever.
That's fine. But I guess he's okay, and I guess it's a good hire. I just, I don't wish bad on him. I hope that he does. I hope he does well. Whatever quarterback he has operating his offense, I pray that they have success. But myself and Lamar, wherever we are, it's a different story.
You going wherever Lamar goes, Hendo?
Everywhere except for Washington.
I mean, he might go there, Eric.
Then Lamar Jackson will be my rival.
No, he won't. You'll never root against Jamal Jackson.
If he's the quarterback for the Washington Redskins, I most definitely will.
No, there's no such team.
There will always be a such thing.
There is no such
thing.
Yeah,
and Hendo, like you said, Todd Monken was saying the right things, saying that Jackson is an underrated passer. That got Baltimore fans excited because they're like, yeah, I see he's going to come here and make Jackson great when he was already a unanimous MVP, but sure. Rodney,
yes, sir.
Did you watch this press conference, or were
you?
I know you got to do it for the show.
So. No, I don't watch any of these press conferences. I'm like Jeremy in the chat there. Like they mean nothing. It's all coach speak. It's like every defensive coordinator ever who's been hired is like, oh, we're going to be aggressive in multiple. It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Yeah, he went out there. Oh well, I like to exploit mismatches and play to the strengths of the roster. And I'm like, man, that's cool. Let's see what you do with the team on the field. Because I'm not saying that Todd Monken's a bad offensive coordinator. I'm not saying it's a bad hire, but up until this point, he's been an offensive coordinator for 4 years in the NFL, and his best offense was 12th in the league in scoring. The other three were 18th, and I believe 22nd. So that's not great, right? Now, granted, he wasn't on great teams either, but then you're just talking about a coach who's not really able to elevate what he has. So what he has in Baltimore right now is trash. I wouldn't be excited. Okay, you don't have a quarterback, you don't have wide receivers, you got the one and a half. I'll give you 1.5 tight end. You know what? If we put Likely and Kohler together, I'll give you 2 tight ends. Okay, Andrews, Likely, and Kohler. You got 2 tight ends there. You don't have a great O-line, but there's not a whole lot for him to work with right now. So kind of got to wait for the offseason and see what Baltimore actually does, even though Eric DeCosta has already been kind of laying the groundwork to say, don't expect us to go out and sign anybody too expensive on offense, So I'm not sure what, Ravens fans are really expecting right now, today, February 21st, out of Todd Monken with what they have in Baltimore,
And I know that he said something about, you can't keep running your quarterback like that. Uh-oh.
What?
We got to follow. Thank you for the follow.
That's
Karen,
okay.
Karen Streams.
Okay,
that's I said that incorrectly. Thank you. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's
proving off. We got all the new graphics in here.
Right, bro.
That's not a new graphic. That's I got to change it. It's actually old.
You fancy, huh? You fancy, huh?
Shout out. What's going on, Scorpion? Hope you're having a great night.
Right.
Keep going.
But I'm sorry.
What were you saying?
But he said that there's no need to run a quarterback like that. But with having dynamic quarterbacks, you use them to kind of bail you out when plays don't come together, but you don't intentionally run them all game because that can lead to injury. And when I heard that, I was like, duh. Like who the hell runs their quarterback like that other than the Baltimore Ravens? But my thing is, what's going to happen when he does try to implement his game plans and get to the best players and all of these things? And John Harbaugh says that's not our identity. What is he going to do when the head coach finally decides to get some balls and try to take command of this team? So, like once again, it's all good coach speak, and now everybody's rah fired up like, yeah, he said all the right things. I'm so on board. This is such a great hire.
Yeah, my man sounded like a genius in his press conference, and all I could think of was like, why weren't you in the NFL the last 3 years?
Yeah. And like you were saying earlier, Brady, what offense is he going to do this with? I know, Hendo, I've heard you talk on other shows where you have pretty much said they're already making excuses of why they're not going to get a number one wide receiver, or they're not going to try to get a free agent, decent receiver, if anything. It looks like they're going to try to either draft, which we know they haven't done well, or they're going to try to keep the same unit that they have and just say, well, they were injured, so let's give them a chance to show themselves, to prove themselves, even though they really didn't do much. Do you think that if Lamar comes back, Monken can make this a better offense? Because I believe, if I'm correct, the Baltimore Ravens past games were 27th, 32, 13th, and 28th rankings in the 4 seasons with Roman.
Well, that don't let that 13 fool you. We couldn't run the ball and we had to throw because Lamar was out.
So do you think there will be an improvement? Do you think there will be not an improvement? What do you think Monken can do for this offense, passing wise?
If Lamar comes back, there's going to be improvement, just because he's Lamar and can make things happen. Now, if that man stays true to his word and actually utilizes his best players, sky's the limit. But you still have to get talent. Coaching only makes up a certain part of the game. If you don't have talent, you can only go but so far. And this front office just doesn't seem to care about the offensive side. Now, they sat in their press conference a month and a half ago, however long it was, and spoke about, we need to revamp this wide receiver room. We need to get these pass concepts in. We need to change certain things, but keep our identity. So all in all, what they were saying was, ain't shit gonna change.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, what identity? Losing? Getting embarrassed in the playoffs? Just being a letdown after pumping up your fans all off season and through the first half of the regular season. Like that's been their identity, right? Like, we're a regular season team that can't get it done when it matters. That's their identity.
3 yards in a cloud of dust. Run it ball.
Like I forget who it was that said it. Hey, if you need 3 yards, give it to so and so. He'll get you 3 yards. If you need 10 yards, give it to so and so. He'll get you 3 yards. That's been Baltimore. Yeah, they need a whole philosophical change in in that organization, and they've needed it for years. But it doesn't seem like they're interested in making that happen. Now, if they can't come to an agreement with Lamar Jackson, then they're going to be forced to change. Well,
that will go into our next conversation, our next topic. But real quick, before we go into Lamar's contract, I am so pronouncing this wrong. I apologize. But he says, thoughts on Miami Dolphins. Give your real quick, Ronnie. What are your thoughts on the Miami Dolphins?
Goddamn thoughts on the Dolphins? That's not what I'm here for. No, I think the Dolphins are a solid team. I think that they're being aggressive, or at least they were this past season, being aggressive in trying to put together a win now team. If Tua's healthy, or if they go away from Tua, I'm not going to say where they would go if they went away from Tua, but if they went away from Tua, or if Tua is healthy all season, I think that they have a shot at breaking through and being a Super Bowl contender. It's going to be tough, obviously, with Cincinnati and Kansas City, but they're going to be knocking on the door there.
For sure. What about you, Endo? Any thoughts on Miami?
Listen, Miami, they went out there And listen, they made some good signings. They signed the running backs. They went and of course got Tyreek Hill. Tua Tagovailoa, he played better than expected, but his health going forward is a concern. But like I've been saying since this time last year, once Stephen Ross gets Lamar Jackson, they will be in the Super Bowl. Probably two defending Super Bowl champions back to back. It's hard to say because listen, Stephen Ross is a gangster. That man does things by any means necessary, legal or illegal. He gonna make it. So I think that they make some kind of push after the draft to get Lamar and maybe give Baltimore Tua. And that's why Todd Monken is here to protect Tua and his health.
You sound thrilled about that.
Because what you mean?
Like you love it.
Listen, first and foremost, my new team, the Miami Dolphins, Lamar throwing to Tyreek Hill, but they got Jeff Wilson and the other dude, like
Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Waddle.
No, the other running back.
Mike Gesicki out there doing.
Oh man!
Shout out to Mr. J. He says there's so many capable wide receivers in the draft, but we know Baltimore kind of misses out on that. They had their opportunity to get George Pickens. I'd like to remind Hendo of that.
I just watched a documentary on him.
And you saw all those character issues, which is why he's not a Baltimore Raven, and why it's not going to work in Pittsburgh.
Oh, it's gonna work very good in Pittsburgh. Shout out to Raven C. Jeremy Miller said there's so many free agent wide receivers too.
That's false as well.
I mean, I guess there are a lot of them.
Not good ones.
Yeah,
just not good ones.
They're better than all the players in Baltimore.
Big Red saying I'm feeling way too much negative and just pure violence in here. Yes, that's the energy Hendo and Brodney bring.
Hey, you know what, Shug? We are 17 minutes in and have not mentioned your beloved Steelers yet. Why is that?
Oh, well, don't worry, we'll get there.
Is that because you're a Ravens fan?
Listen, the violence is because we about to lose our quarterback. That's why we feeling violent up in here.
I'm not feeling like he's about to be a Panther. I love it.
I mean, not you personally, but me and Shug. I'm talking about me and Shug.
I'm feeling great about the way this offseason is unfolding.
Mr. J, y'all might be able to get Michael Thompson on the low, trade
Thomas.
for D-Hop. Michael Thomas on the low or trade for D-Hop.
That's about 4 years too late.
I don't know you want Slam Boy.
Yeah, that's about 4 years too late.
Lamar is heavily rumored to the Dolphins if Tua retires.
Even if he doesn't retire, they're going to trade Tua. They're going to put Tua in the package to Baltimore.
Listen, Jeremy, he's going to Carolina.
Big Red.
Actually, he's going to the Jets.
How do y'all feel about if Buffalo traded for Derrick Henry?
Waste of time.
They don't run the ball.
Zeke Okage, what's up, man?
What's going on, Zeke?
Appreciate you being here. All right, so Lamar's contract, March 7th. Lamar could be a restricted free agent or unrestricted or.
He'll be an unrestricted free agent if they don't tag him.
Yeah, if they don't tag him, and then if he doesn't sign the tag, then we're looking at a possible holdout, maybe trading him. What are you guys thinking? Because I don't know if you guys saw, and I should have grabbed it. He put something on his Instagram, and it was funny watching Ravens fans react to it because they were like, he has a life outside of football. This probably has to do with some girl, and it's like, really? You think he's gonna put that on Instagram about a girl when really it's probably about the Ravens? And Ravens fans are freaking out.
You never know what it's about.
I mean, he's a very private person. Do you think he's really gonna put out his relationship on Instagram?
Well, but he didn't, right? He said whatever he said, and he just left it at that. In regards to Lamar's contract, there's a lot of talk about how basically, they can't afford to give him what the perception is that he's asking for, which is like a fully guaranteed deal, worth more than Deshaun Watson, even though he's never actually said that. But that's kind of the thought out there. But I was on Twitter and I saw, and I can't remember who it was. I should have had the screen name, but they were showing the Ravens cap space over the next couple of years. And right now, without Lamar, they're sitting at about $89 million under the cap for 2024 and $198 million under the cap for 2025. Now, obviously, they would have to sign other players, but I mean, I'm not the best at math, but I'm pretty sure even if he went for like 65 a year after this season, they could fit him pretty comfortably under those 89 and 198. Especially, and this is after having signed Roquan Smith to a $100 million contract, which, I mean, it's weird that Eric DaCosta was able to get that done, and then immediately had a press conference talking about, man, it's going to be tough to sign a wide receiver in here. It's tough to pay him. But don't let the Baltimore Ravens, or John Harbaugh, Eric DaCosta, Bisciotti, or anybody else tell you that they can't afford Lamar, or it'll be difficult to build around Lamar if they give him that contract. It's complete and utter BS. They can pay him. They can build the team around him. They are just not interested in scoring points.
Facts. Hendo, what about you? What do you see what goes on with this contract with Lamar Jackson?
I see them tagging him. Now it's going to be interesting to see if they use the non-exclusive or the exclusive franchise tag, but it will probably be exclusive. And if it is, it's not going to happen anytime soon, because once you tag him, that money goes straight to the salary cap. And we are only 26 mil under the cap. And as of right now, his hit will be 45 million.
Unless they go with the non-exclusive, which is 32 million.
And we still can't afford that right now. So he's not getting tagged anytime soon until they actually make a move and restructure some deals. But as far as, and like Rodney said, don't listen to the Baltimore Ravens when they say they can't afford to pay him and sign other people, because that's a lie, because teams do it every year. But my question to the Baltimore Ravens is, what did you do when he was on a rookie deal? Don't tell me you can't sign a wide receiver now if we give you this fully guaranteed contract and all of these hundreds of millions, because when he was only getting paid $2.5 million, what wide receivers did you give him? You picked up some dudes off the street.
Miles Boykin. Raven and Steeler legend, Miles Boykin.
Yep.
Right.
And it's funny you say that, Hendo, because I see a lot of Ravens fans, on Twitter saying, well, Lamar shouldn't be so selfish. He should take less so we can get a wide receiver. And like you just said, why didn't you do that before? Why weren't you trying to get him a Pro Bowl wide receiver, a number one wide receiver, that he could throw to? Now waiting till his contract is here, and you want to say, well, now we can't get you a wide receiver. We give you so much money. So choose. You want money or do you want a wide receiver?
Let me tell you about those people on Twitter. That's Qadri Ishmael and his 1,000 burners. Okay? That dude's a clown, and no actual Ravens fan, or let me not say actual Ravens fan, no fan of football actually believes that kind of nonsense.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Jeremy says, I don't think Lamar wants the franchise tag. He doesn't obviously want the franchise tag. He wants that Deshaun money, and he will choose the team that offers him a similar contract. Maybe we'll see.
That might be true. It's not, nothing has been proven about what he's asked for. Everybody wants to speculate and thinks that he wants a fully guaranteed contract more than Deshaun Watson. I guarantee you, if you said, hey, Lamar, I'm going to give you $200 million guaranteed and get you I'm going to trade for 2 wide receivers that can actually help you, I think he would sign a contract. Because because if it was all about money, he wouldn't have shown up to training camp. He wouldn't have played the season if it was strictly all about money. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. You want this man to be your leading passer. You want this man to be your leading rusher. But now you want to skimp on the money.
They're taking the page out of the Steelers book right there. With Le'Veon Bell.
Hey. And what happened when he left us? Garbage.
Y'all were garbage.
No, he was garbage.
And so were y'all.
Yeah, you said that like y'all been tearing the league up since Le'Veon been gone. Like, what you talking
Hell
about?
Yeah, we have. Hey, we were undefeated. Remember the season we were undefeated and we lost?
No,
I don't
remember that.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, yes, we were. I remember that because that's when me and Brody first started getting into it all the time. Because I was like,
and you lost the last 5 games of the year.
Hey, guess what?
And Brody reminded me every week that we lost.
Hey, guess what?
Reminded me that we lost.
Guess what? The Ravens are undefeated right now. And what?
You lost.
What the hell does that mean?
Baker goddamn Mayfield.
Shut your mouth.
Playoffs.
Hey, don't you disrespect?
You better hope Baker. You better hope he don't come to Baltimore. The Steeler killer. You better hope he don't come to Baltimore.
If Daniel Jones wants $45 million, I'm very confident Lamar will get what he wants. Yeah, for sure. Mr. J, I could have played wide receiver for the Ravens. Mr. J can play anything. I don't know if you guys have watched him. Check him out over on his channel on Twitch. This man can play so many different games, and he's good at it too. He's been killing it in Hogwarts. I'm very jealous, and he wears a fur coat while doing it. It's unbelievable.
Is he a pimp?
Amazing. He is in a game in a game about Wizards.
Not yet.
In a game about Wizards, this man's pimping. Pimping ain't easy. Ravens have been comfortable with Lamar playing hero ball for far too long. Facts. It's honestly might be Bashady's pockets just not deep enough.
Bashady's got the money.
Deep. He's got mad deep pockets. Yeah. Several of them.
Because he's worth about a little over $6 billion. We're talking about 250 million maybe. He's got the money.
Yeah.
Wasted the season away, shaking my head. The game that Juju got depleted and cost me $700.
Wow.
Sorry to hear that. Big Reg is laughing. And Mr. J said, I can't stand y'all.
What did we do?
You know, Mr. J, we can't stand you. Where were you at when Hanging with Hendo was going on? Because you were supposed to be on the screen.
You sure were. Sure was too. But I'm not gonna comment. I'm not gonna comment. Yeah, it's amazing how whenever I need Suge, he always busy.
Sure got nothing to say.
I really don't because he actually kind of right.
Hey Suge, I need you to make a list for me, Suge. I don't feel like it. Okay.
No. I'm not that involved in the rap.
You really should have made the list because goddamn.
Why?
I saw the
preview.
I saw the preview and yikes.
Yeah, it comes out.
For the legals sign if. Appreciate you for the follow. There's a couple other people that followed. Appreciate you for hanging out. Sure was. Shame, Suge.
Listen, Raven, no, Raven, you don't. You made me pick up the mic. You made me pick up the mic, bro. I was about. I'm sorry. It's not my show. Never mind. I'll save this for another time.
Let me translate that for you, Raven. You've been lying about coming on Hendo's show for months.
Facts.
Allegedly. I told him that
ain't Saturday, not my fault. Discord don't give notifications.
But look. Let me have said something about the Carolina Panthers. Mr. J would have been like, "What you say?"
Discord gives notifications. I just got a notification from you on Discord, Mr. J.
How about that?
So
this is a very antagonistic show. I don't like the energy that we've got right now.
Speaking of Bronny saying we were talking about the Steelers, the Steelers have been real quiet this off season. They lost their one of their defensive coaches in Brian Flores. You haven't really heard much. Not much.
They need
going
to lose
on.
their offensive coordinator.
We'll see. Maybe. I thought we were going to sign Leftwich. I thought we were going to sign Eric Bieniemy. Nothing has happened, so it's kind of frustrating. But one of the things that is being floated around is now I know Bronny will say, "Well, it's the second round." But the Steelers, because of Miami forfeiting their draft, get to move up into the first round. There's been rumors that the Steelers will make that draft pick trade for Jalen Ramsey. Now, for me, this is one of the things that I think we talked about last week. Rodney brought up was to focus on the offensive line. A lot of the mock drafts have predicted Steelers getting the tackle from Northwestern, and then if Joey Porter Jr. is in the second round, taking him. But Jalen Ramsey, a Pro Bowl corner, very good corner. Should the Steelers pull the trigger on this, get Jalen Ramsey and chance getting linemen later in the draft, to fulfill that need? Because like Rodney said last week, the biggest thing is protecting Kenny Pickett if he is your franchise quarterback. What are your thoughts, Endo?
Should you make the trade?
Should we trade?
I mean,
Jalen Ramsey.
Listen, I would personally say no. I think you would have to give up too much, and I think he would just eat up too much of your salary cap right now. Listen, is he an all-pro? He is. Is he on a decline? Who's to say? But we've seen what T. Higgins did to him in the Super Bowl.
He cheated.
Okay, they let him cheat, so it still counts. But listen, defense does not win championships anymore. You all need to focus on your offensive line, and more importantly, you maybe need to take that first round pick and trade for an offensive coordinator. That may help you more in the long run than trading for another cornerback. Because if you do that, to me, you're just the Baltimore Ravens, just looking for the cheap way out, the name, the splashy signing, and you're really not trying to improve your team. Now, he'll improve your defensive backfield, but guess what? Good quarterbacks are just going to throw to the opposite side of the field. So, have at it.
What about you, Bronny? What do you think about the Steelers doing this?
I agree with Hendo generally, but you do have to have a certain level of defensive play to be able to contend for a Super Bowl, right? And I don't know that right now they want to rely on T.J. Watt staying healthy and being kind of the driving force of that defense. I think they do need to add some talent there. Jalen Ramsey for the 32nd pick. I'm not going to say first or second round because I don't want to argue with you. But for the 32nd pick, I think is a bit much. I don't think it would cost that much to get him. I think you can get him for less than that. And if they are offering him for less than that 32nd pick, I think they should do it. In terms of protecting Kenny Pickett, they have another first-round pick that should go to the O-line. And then where you're really going to get that done in the short term is in free agency by getting veterans that can play. I don't know who Pittsburgh's offensive line coach is, but I know that he should be fired and they need to get somebody else in there because, that's one of the few areas of football where I think it's, the coaching is far more important. It's still not as important as the players, but it's far more important than pretty much everywhere else on the field. Having that coach and letting a group of linemen kind of grow together and gel. I think that Pittsburgh has done a terrible job of trying to put together a unit there. So it's time to, maybe start over and get a new coach in there and get some new blood on the line.
Well, there was I forgot. I got to look at the post again, but one of our linemen didn't give up a sack this year. So
well, now did he not get beat, or did he get beat slower than the other four? That's the question, right?
That is a question.
Just the other guys let him through quicker.
I remember Daryl Williams in Carolina several years ago. He made all pro, right? But if you watched him play, he had help from either a tight end, the guard, or a running back on every single play, and he couldn't block anybody who could run a reasonable 40. Like if you had any kind of speed, you can just run right around Daryl Williams. So he wasn't actually a good lineman, but he ended up being an all-pro lineman because, he didn't give up a lot of pressure since he was double and triple teaming everybody who was going up against him. So some of those stats can be misleading.
Has half class full. I look at it half class full for me. But to answer your question, the offensive line for the Steelers is Pat Meyer. And the assistant, Pat Meyer has 20 years experience. The assistant is Isaac Williams, who's only had a year. So, wow, I know so disrespectful. Swear. Let's look at the Baltimore's line.
Mm-hmm.
Director of Football Information, assistant to the head coach. Oh, wow. Okay.
Pretty important title.
Apparently. I will not attempt to say this last name, but his first name is Joe. Starts with a D.
Jody.
And Mike Devlin, 20 years. Yeah, so you got about 34 years experience compared.
That don't mean that they're good. Years.
No, I'm just pointing it out. That's all. Raven C's calling you out. He said he sent one. He sent one invite and never heard from again.
Well, Raven, let me ask you this though: did you click on the invite?
I don't hear mine, but again, I'll make sure to be around my phone around 8:00 on Saturday. When Mr. J's not killing it in Hogwarts, I think Ramsey's past his prime.
I don't know about past his prime.
Build the O-line and draft a wide receiver. I don't
another one. Another one.
Yeah, I don't think we need to draft.
First of all, Jeremy wants Cincinnati Bengals 2.0. That's what he wants, but you just don't have the quarterback for it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to draft a wide receiver. You got to remember.
I saw their quarterback dropping it in over your $100 million linebacker for the win on Twitter right before we logged on. So I don't know. You want to talk about Kenny Mittens over there right now, Hendo? Especially when Baker Mayfield might be your quarterback.
First of all, my team is to be determined. We're not even going there right now. It's a question mark.
Yeah.
I don't even know why
you got Baltimore in your background.
Because this is where I live. represent my hometown. Like, I don't even know why I'm on this show.
Cool,
I thought this was for Ravens or Steelers fans.
Well, I mean, I'm a Panthers fan and I'm here. So,
Well,
Yeah,
Jeremy, you're
sure.
talking about drafting a wide receiver. I think our wide receiver core is okay. It's very young. And you got to remember too, Calvin Austin III is
Yes,
coming
sir.
back from injury next year.
oh,
He's
I
probably
haven't forgotten
taking
about Calvin.
he's probably taking Sims' spot. So you have Deontay Johnson,
Calvin
George
Austin.
Pickens, Calvin
Yeah.
Austin, Pat Fryermuth. Like, that's a good young wide receiver core that I'm excited for to see what they do. What role is Neo going to play? Asking for dynasty purposes.
Don't pick up DeMarvin Leo. Don't do it.
Half glass full. I'm finally rubbing off on y'all.
Oh, who? Not me.
You rubbing off
And I
on
said
shit.
I'm a restricted free agent until
Still
Lamar.
alive. That's right. We don't know
My
yet.
fandom is in question as well. Big
Wow.
man, shut up.
They can franchise tag me, but I might not show up.
Now, so yeah, I think this
It was big trust just like a year ago in Baltimore, and now look at y'all.
And
Wow.
in that top rappers list, one guy said it was all good just a week ago.
Mm.
But
I think the Steelers. I understand where Hendo's coming from. I would like the Steelers to pick up Ramsey just to get that splash name. I don't think he's past his prime, but if you have stars at each level, you have T.J. Watt, you have Jalen Ramsey, you have Minka Fitzpatrick, Highsmith is good.
Cam Hayward.
It's going to
Cam
disrespect my man
Hayward.
Miles Jack like that.
I was just about to say Miles Jack.
He
So you
didn't play
like
that well.
he played okay. It wasn't
He played well enough to score me a lot of points, which is what really matters here.
which really matters.
Maybe apparently he didn't score you enough points.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I went
So-
farther than you did, Mr. Undefeated.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Oh my gosh.
Emotional damage.
How's that emotional damage?
because
Oh,
then
I'm
you went
sorry.
out and
I'm
bought
sorry.
yourself a belt and a ring for leagues that
I
to make
bought-
yourself feel better
I bought
after
myself
the fact.
I bought myself something that I won.
Okay.
Hmm.
You know,
Interesting.
that is an interesting way to phrase it. It is.
Well,
You're
let me
correct.
let me meet up with Jose so I can get my LBHT. Did I make that up? Did I make that
No,
plaque
you-
up, sir?
You didn't make that up, and I regret ordering it every goddamn day.
Make sure I have that. That will be my new background display.
Big Reg, in some places you can. It's okay.
No.
Sure, you know damn well the Steelers are going to draft a wide receiver of some caliber. Yeah, we
Maybe.
probably will draft a wide receiver,
But
but
why?
late.
Because they
But
can.
late. We always do, and they end up being stars.
Why do you
Yeah.
draft scrubs at corner every year? Because you can.
My point was the
Touche.
receiver was had to return
Touche.
to the offense with championship. Definitely, and we're going to win with Kenny Smallheads Pickens. So,
First of all, you
No,
need to take that.
None of
first
that.
round.
None of that was correct.
hi, I want to offer a promotion for your channel. Sure, okay, yeah, sure. Hit me up. Actually, hit me up at lunchbreakhottake@gmail.com. Send that information.
It's
right
not
now.
It's still
even-
wrong.
not
It's
even
still
the-
wrong. That is so wrong.
It's not even
Whatever.
the email. That's all right.
LBHT.
It's
Whatever.
wrong. Wrong.
Oh no, we'll get it for you. We'll get it for you. We'll send it to you. Now going into this draft, for you, Hendo, what are the most important things that the Ravens need to do to kind of we know Lamar is a big key, but what would you like to see them do in this draft, and not hold on to picks or even trade some picks they have to get players? What would you want to see them do?
Take the first round pick. I think they should trade back to get more picks because it's been apparent over the last 4 years with 40-something plus picks. Our general manager does not know how to draft. Now, you take that first round pick, get a second, couple thirds, and take a couple of those picks and trade for a new head coach. Start over philosophically and build a winner. Because what we've been doing the last 10
That is
years,
just like the Ravens. He wants a third round head coach instead of a first round head coach. Good Lord.
I'm not going to be here anyway, so it don't really matter. But no, I do think that they should trade back because I was being serious about our general manager not being able to draft. Like he picks. I don't know their philosophy. They say best player available. Then they say the draft for need. It switches every year. So I don't know what they're doing because there's no way on God's green earth you can tell me Patrick Queen was the best player available in that draft.
Yeah, nobody drafts best player available. That's a lie that they tell fans.
Facts. So eventually, hopefully, I'll put nothing past this team. We have to get wide receivers. And not just one. And
But I have one.
Thanks, Shug.
George Pickens is right there.
Thanks. Calvin Austin was right there.
Could have had Calvin Austin too.
And we got a punter.
Pretty good punter though. I mean, not really, but you know what's funny? It's like you spent the draft pick on the punter, and Carolina just went into free agency and signed the best punter in the league.
Right.
It's amazing.
Oh, kind of like
he was just sitting there waiting to be signed. It was incredible.
And you would think, everyone likes to speak about, how the Ravens go in the past and they've done this and it's a model franchise. We did that with Justin Tucker. He was an undrafted free agent. Why couldn't we take Calvin Austin or somebody else and pick up a punter in free agency? It's a goddamn punter. Mm-hmm. It's a punter. And we had 6 fourth-round picks. We took an injured tight end. We took another tight end. We took some cornerbacks that can't play to save their goddamn lives. And a punter.
Okay, I mean, that's not really fair, right? You can't ask a 4th-round corner to cover Tyreek Hill in their first NFL action.
Oh, I mean, I'm not holding that game against them. But
that was the last time they played.
Exactly.
So somebody's holding it against them.
But even to that point, so with those struggles and them being put in the doghouse, guess what we're going to do in this next draft, Shug? We're going to go draft more cornerbacks.
How come you drafted corners in the 4th round, but in the 3rd round you took a running back, turned safety, and then turned him into a corner? I don't understand.
Wow. Well, first of all, we took a running back, turned safety, turned him into a. No, he was a cornerback, turned him into a safety, then sent him back to cornerback.
How come you took a generational prospect at safety at 14 and made him play the slot?
Who was that?
Kyle Hamilton.
Oh, you used the word generational, so
you
threw me off there. Yeah. Why did they take a top 5?
Why don't you guys use your best weapon in Patrick Ricard?
Well, first of all, my new offensive coordinator said this dude does not belong on the field at all.
When it's time to cut the racist, it's all of a sudden he's still a Ravens fan. It's not to be determined anymore. When you want to pile on Pat Ricard.
First of all, somebody put on Twitter today. Yeah, I hope Hard R Ricard gets let go. Damn racist.
Wow. Rodney, before you answer about the Ravens, what do you think this? We kind of talked about it earlier. Touched on
answering about the Ravens. Ask me some Panthers questions.
We don't. That's
he's
for
getting
tomorrow.
He's getting sick of
you. That's tomorrow. What do you think the Steelers need to do with their draft picks? Obviously, we talked about maybe trading for Ramsey. If they don't do that, what do you think they should do to help the team? Get better.
Yeah, no, I think their first couple picks definitely needs to go towards the O-line. The biggest thing for Pittsburgh in the short and long term is protecting Kenny Pickett. He already had, like you pointed out on the show, he had 2 or 3 concussions this year already. Mm-hmm. They have to be able to protect Pickett if they think he's going to be. I mean, even if they don't think he's the answer, you be kind of messed up to just throw him out there to get more concussions, right? You want to. They need to protect him.
I know. This isn't Miami. This isn't Miami.
Listen. Y'all need to take that first round pick and get a new quarterback because Tua Jr. is not going to last.
He's okay. Well, first of all, he's not Tua Jr. That dude's at Maryland and he is trash.
I didn't mean that garbage to him.
Wow. But no, they're not going to be in range to get another quarterback unless you're talking about Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, they're going to trade up.
Why the hell would they trade up when they got Mittens? You didn't see what Mittens did to your all-world defense?
Who said they were all-world defense?
Everybody but
I
you.
didn't. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Everybody but you.
Yeah, I didn't. I expected that crap.
I heard they are a top defense. I heard they were going to win y'all a title. I heard that if not for Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley going straight up.
Straight up. Instead of over.
Listen,
even John Harbaugh had to say something about that. Like he normally defends the players. He was like, I don't know what that execution was, but that was a good play call.
That play call was horrible.
It was horrible, but he went straight up. Like it doesn't matter where you were on the field. Straight up isn't forward.
It's not at all. It's not. But listen, that all-world defense, let's hold on to that and see what happens this year when we're not playing a fourth place schedule. Because I'm not going to call my man out, but he said something earlier about holding teams to 13 points a game at the end of the year. Yeah, we played a fourth place schedule, and we played some of the worst teams in the NFL.
Okay, you know what? Calm down.
I wasn't talking about Carolina, bro. I was talking about the other teams after the Carolina game.
I figured, but I wanted to be sure that. Yeah, but Big Reg, he said he didn't say that either about the defense, but you're a hater, Big Reg. We all know that.
You hate everything.
What about, and Bronny, give me your thoughts, and I'll ask you about the Panthers too, but give me your thoughts on what the Ravens should do.
The Panthers? Hold it out there like a carrot. What now? My thoughts on what?
Thoughts on the Ravens draft and what they should do.
I mean, it all depends on what happens, between now and March 7th, right? If they are serious about keeping Lamar Jackson, like if they sign him to an extension or they give him the exclusive franchise tag and say you're not going anywhere, then they need to go wide receiver in round 1. Probably need to go wide receiver in round 3. Outside of that, they're going to have to get some depth on the defensive side. That's for day 3. They've been paying too much attention to the defense. They got to go to the back of the line for a bit. If they are not keeping Lamar Jackson, then obviously, everything turns to quarterback, right? When they trade him to Carolina, that means they get the 9th pick. You're probably looking at Anthony Richardson there, which means that they will have to go out and sign a Baker Mayfield, a Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, or somebody like that, and let Anthony Richardson sit for a year. If they end up sending him to Detroit, then you're looking at maybe a Will Levis, maybe a CJ Stroud at that point. But what is this? What is that? What is this? Right? Leaves the door open. Yeah, no, it's fine. I don't care if they sign Derek Carr, just as long as he's gone by 2024.
No,
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. I'll give you. You have 2 seconds to give us a Panthers draft. No, it's fine. What do you want to see from the Panthers in the draft, Bronny? If people don't know who are watching, Bronny is a big Panthers fan
and Ravens fan.
But
not a Ravens fan at all. That is a terrible organization over there. Hey, Shay, did you know that they hired their offensive coordinator because he's married to the head coach's sister?
I did not know that. Wow.
I didn't know that until today either. I don't know why I was naive enough to not look into it, but that's what happened.
Because we didn't expect that, Rodney. When they said no stone unturned, we're gonna look hollow here and there for an offensive coordinator. No one expected it to be at the dinner table.
So you know what I say? If you can't,
just
keep it in the family. That's what you should do. Keep it in the family. But give us your thoughts on the Panthers and what they need to do for to draft.
Well, it's funny because Frank Reich, as the head coach in Carolina, excuse me, hired Jim Caldwell, who he knows pretty well, to be a senior assistant. He hired Dom Capers, who obviously he knows very well as well, to be the senior defensive assistant. But then he made a point of going outside of his friends, outside of his circles, to hire their offensive and defensive coordinators. And that's why Carolina is getting so much praise for the coaching staff that they're putting together right now. A lot of they've got a lot of young offensive minds, and then they have some older coaches with a ton of experience to help guide those guys. They put together a whole staff full of teachers. Right, they're in the business of developing their players, making them better. Something that some other organizations.
Whoa! I don't know how you try to throw dumps at people.
I'm not. I said some other organizations could learn from that because a lot of teams don't do that. I don't know why hit dogs are hollering right now, but I mean,
Wow.
We know what you were insinuating.
So I think that what they're doing, because there's been a lot of speculation about them moving up to try and get CJ Stroud or Bryce Young.
Well,
But I think that I think they're trying to put themselves in the best position possible to be able to develop a quarterback. And I think that they are going to just sit at 9 and draft Anthony Richardson and then let him develop with that coaching staff, let him sit for a year. They'll go and sign Jacoby Brissett and kind of, I don't want to say punt next season, but kind of punt next season.
Or get somebody opposite JC Horn?
They have somebody opposite JC Horn. There's so many guys. You know how many corners they brought in since Matt Rule was there? It's a lot. And some of them were actually good. And then they let all of them leave.
But another top 15 corner?
They had a defensive player of the year in Stephon Gilmore, and then they said no thank you to that. We want to trade for CJ Henderson, whose first team figured out that he was a bust after 8 goddamn games.
That's why you draft a corner at 9.
No.
To go opposite JC Horn to pair them together for the next 10 years.
You see what I'm saying? When I say he's just so bitter now.
When it happens, I've
been sitting here offering you JC Horn to go opposite of Marlon Humphrey, and you get all angry, like, "Oh, I don't want that. We're not going to trade JC Horn."
No. You got to throw Brian Burns. That's why I think you got to throw Brian Burns with JC Horn.
No. I thought we talked about this and stop being so goddamn greedy. Okay.
All right.
You don't deserve what I'm offering you already.
Wow. It's terrible. Wow.
You don't. How do you have a 25-year-old generational quarterback who won unanimous MVP, and you're sitting here talking about what can I get for him in a trade? You don't deserve shit.
Okay, you might be right.
Sorry, sure. My bad.
It's all right. Well, this past weekend we had the.
You know what? No. I'm not sorry. Get your life together, Hendo. All right. God damn, man.
Man, Brady just all of a sudden just went.
How many of us have them? Friends. Depend on. Let's be friends.
I show up every time.
We had the start of the XFL season this past weekend, and they're kind of doing. I guess the way they schedule is like 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday.
I think that they did that because The Rock showed up to all the primetime games or all the televised games.
Yep.
I watched one of them. I watched the Arlington Renegades and the Las Vegas Vipers. It's actually a pretty good game.
Right. Well,
and I know tomorrow you're going to be talking about this in the OT, Bronny, but I won't. Not the XFL, particularly, but other leagues. Mm-hmm. Does the NFL? Does it benefit the NFL to have these leagues, and does it benefit teams to have these leagues? Because the NFL can come in and get players if they find stars, which is, it has happened. Kurt Warner, played for the Arena League. Is the Arena League even still around?
Your boy Tommy Maddox.
Maddox, yeah.
That's where Carolina got Jake Delhomme. He was in NFL Europe for a while before he came over to the Saints.
I used to love watching NFL Europe. Yeah, it was always dope to watch that.
But Arena League, they went out of business like several years ago, but they're coming back.
I know they still have the Lingerie League, and I don't think we're going to find any talent there for any team.
I feel like you probably find a lot of talent there, but
not for an NFL team.
Not for the 53 man
roster. So, do you think that these other leagues help the NFL? Should we have more, like bring back NFL Europe, bring back Arena Leagues? What do you think? What do you think these leagues could do for the NFL?
I think that the NFL is pretty content with college football just being their developmental league. They spend 3 years in college, at least three or four, and a lot of the players, at least at the top of the draft, obviously they kind of turn into household names. They manufacture stars for the NFL. So I don't think the NFL is interested in the investment that it would take to put together an actual minor league that's connected with the NFL. Now, in terms of these leagues and whether or not they can survive, I think yes, but again, you have to have the investment up front. You have to have people who know that they're not going to be making their money back anytime soon. It's not going to be a quick turnaround on making money off the XFL, right? But they have to invest a lot early on to give the league stability and to allow it to mature, allow the coaches to mature, allow the players to mature, and then you know the product on the field gets better, and then you can kind of stick around. The problem for these leagues is, you know, in this country, in the U.S., we don't watch anything but the top level of whatever sport. So, you know, you have college football, that's the top amateur level, right? So that's what people watch. You have the NFL, that's the top professional level, and you don't watch anything below that. And it's the same thing in basketball, same thing in baseball. You know, you don't really see these semi-pro leagues really thrive because Americans aren't really interested in anything other than the best.
For sure. Hendo, what are your thoughts?
My first thought is, did you poach somebody else's topic?
No, I did not.
I'm just asking a question. I'm sorry.
Why did you have this topic?
Oh no, I thought it was going to be overtime show topic. But
That's why we're not talking about the XFL. See,
no. So you just rephrase it as other leagues.
Different than what we're going to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah. See,
yeah. Like Bradley made a lot of great points. I just think as far as these other leagues go, I think that the quote unquote parent league has to be involved. Now The Rock has good intentions, you know, he has some money, but they're going to be in the black for a while. Like it's going to take a while if it happens. And I just think the biggest thing is a lot of the fans aren't going to get excited or kind of be interested in what's going on because they always seem to fold. Like, what is this? The third iteration of the XFL?
I think it's only the second because
obviously McMahon.
This is the third.
Three? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
I remember when the XFL when I first heard about it back in the day, we were thinking there are gonna be chair shots, you know.
there almost were.
Yeah.
They're cheerleaders in hot tubs and He Hate Me and all that.
Yeah. They tried to find a way to make it marketable for people, but you know, if it's not going to stick around, you know, they can do the arena leagues, the NFL Europes, and all that. But if you don't consistently say, you know what, we're not going to be popular, we're not going to make money, we have to stick it out until we show the fans we're here to stay. Because yes, they may be a lesser league and it may not be as fun, and you don't have the top athletes, but there are dead periods in sports, especially when baseball season comes around because nobody watches baseball. So if you could find a league that actually captivates people's attention span, I think it could thrive. But once again, they have to partner with the NFL, just like the G League did with the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know nobody really watches the G League except for Ferris. I think he may be the only one in attendance to all the games, but until they sit down with Roger Goodell and say, look, what can we do to kind of be the pipeline or the secondary pipeline into the NFL? Like, this could be a developmental league. You know, you take the players that you want as long as you give us funding, exposure, and things like that. But other than that, they're gonna fold again, and then we're gonna have the next summer league, and then the next spring league, and whatever else comes around in a couple years. Vince McMahon might do something. He got some time on his hands. Who knows?
Well, Vince is not part of it. It's The Rock, and then
I didn't say he was a part of this. I said when he decides to start something later.
But Vince is not even part of WWE right now.
That's what I'm saying. He got time on his hands. He's looking for something to do.
He ain't got much time left, man.
Oh, damn.
NFL was solid. I love all the new rules behind the scene with the replay. Yeah, did you guys like any of the new rules? Anything that stuck out to you that you would like to adopt to the NFL? Give us some, Nintendo. What did you like?
So I watched the I Don't Care game, and next week I'm going to see I'm never watching that crap.
Wow.
Okay, Brent.
I had an actual answer to your question, Shug.
Thank you, Rodney.
You're very welcome. I'm professional. You know that. Unlike some people who are on screen right now. They had they've rumored, or they've been talking about this one in the NFL for a while, where they replaced the onside kick with like a 4th and 15 play, and if you get, you convert, you get to keep the ball. So that's the XFL is working out with that. I like that a lot because the onside kick is, it's not really about skill. It's almost 100% luck, and it's not really fun. You don't really have a chance to keep possession and keep it going. But with the 4th and 15, you do, and it's not, it's obviously not an easy conversion, right? So but you have that play, and it just kind of rolls right into your drive. You start off 1st and 10, and you go from there. When you score a touchdown, you can go for 1, 2, or 3. Their 2-point conversion is from the 5-yard line, 3-point conversion from the 10-yard line. So I think that little stuff like that, it adds to the excitement of the game, because when you can score more points, you can come back easier. You're never really out of the game. I actually like the modified kickoff that they have as well. Where I don't know where it is the kicker was kicking from. I think it was farther back than in the NFL. And then the other 10 guys from the kicking team were way up front. They were maybe about the 40 or 35-yard line. They were lined up about 5 yards away from the receiving team, right? So when the kicker actually kicks the ball, then they all are allowed to move. And what you don't have is those super high-speed collisions. Where both guys are running full speed for 30 yards and then run into each other. So there's not as many injuries. And then when you move the kicker back, obviously you get more kick returns than what we see in the NFL right now, which is just a waste of time between commercials where they kick the ball out of the end zone. So I liked the conversions. I like what they've done with the kickoff. I thought all those things made it more exciting. Really, the only thing that kind of took away from the excitement for me was Drew Plitt playing quarterback for the Arlington Renegades. That dude is awful. He was at Ball State for 6 years, and he came into the XFL, and he is still trash. So
I'll be honest with you, Mr. J. I did not watch any of the games. I did see some highlights, but I didn't watch the games, so my apologies. So I have no.
Hines is coaching in this league? I thought
yes.
They let him near the league after he tanked the Alliance?
I have no idea. Marcus Bryant is on one of these teams. He was supposed to be next.
Was on the Vegas Vipers.
Yeah.
Does not look great.
Do you remember I said Hines Ward and Wade Phillips were the standout coaches? Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I didn't get to check it out. Maybe I'll check it out this weekend.
Yeah, all the games are on ESPN Plus.
Okay, cool. I have ESPN Plus, or I'll just borrow yours. Shout out to Ferris. He borrows everybody's.
That's because people like Ferris.
I know. That's not what
Caleb says.
That's because people don't like Caleb.
Wow.
No.
That's what I heard. I don't know.
Wow. All right. So for the last topic, this is going to be part of the new segment. I don't know if I'm going to keep it around when the season starts, but STV talk.
You got a what?
So STV talk is Stardew Valley talk. Now, it doesn't mean we're talking Stardew Valley. We're going to talk about anything, but the segment's going to be called STV talk.
Well, I like you, Caleb. I don't know what the hell he talking about.
I like you too, Caleb. But I'm just saying what Ferris says all the time.
He does say that
when you try to call him a leech.
He does.
Big Red said Rod Wilson lost his first head coaching game. Oh,
good. F that guy.
He's a former Steeler. F that guy.
And a former Baltimore.
Shut your mouth.
So
I like Rod Wilson though.
Anybody
He's my second favorite.
If you want to bring up a topic you want us to talk about, anything you want to talk about, bring it up.
I'll tell you what. They said
I was gonna bring up the All-Star game and the dunk contest.
Oh, I didn't watch that shit. They said it couldn't be done though. They said it couldn't be done. They said I'm not a people person. They said, I don't like to talk to people. I don't like to make friends with people. But guess who made friends with 5 villagers? I mean, 3 villagers, because one of them was my wife and another one was my daughter. But guess who made friends and now has the statue of perfection and is swimming in iridium?
You're finally swimming. Yeah, you're finally swimming in iridium. I'm going to tell you something right now that I haven't been playing the game because it pissed me off. Because I log on and it's winter and everything is ice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
it's the best time to find artifacts, man,
and make friends.
And just like a meth addict, I say I'm not going to do something, and then I go straight back. to it. I have been playing Magic for like the last 3 days.
Lord, you gotta snap.
I'm done with you,
and
Herb.
this
I'm sorry.
and this,
Should.
and this weekend there is a tournament on Sunday that I will be playing. So
Don't
I'm
do
actually
it,
live
Shug.
streaming.
I'm
I
done
know
with you.
I shouldn't.
Don't do it, Shug.
But I've been playing.
Don't do it, Shug.
After I said I wasn't gonna play anymore, I've been ignoring
You
Hogwarts.
got
I've been-
Hogwarts. You got Stardew Valley.
Been ignoring them all. I haven't played Apex in a month.
Well, that's good. Keep that up. But add Magic to the list.
Magic is coming back. I might even play. I might even stream tonight. I might stream it tonight because I need to play. So
damn.
yeah.
If you had told me that you were going to stream Magic tonight, I wouldn't have come on the show.
Facts.
I cannot sit here and watch you do this to yourself.
If I say I'm a stream Stardew Valley, would you have came on the show?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
But don't lie to me.
I haven't. I'm not lying to you.
No, I'm saying don't lie and say you're gonna do Stardew Valley, and then next week you still on Magic.
I know. I know it's bad. I started playing again, and then I built like 4 decks, and I've been testing.
Super racist game.
Why is it racist?
You know why it's racist. Nintendo, you saw this, right?
We saw
We're
this.
past, we're past the Brotherhood War.
Oh, and that's the one spot. That's the one spot where the brothers get to shine. Okay, yeah. Tell me they're not racist again.
Once a month,
Tell me again, they're not racist.
Is it once a month? Is it the shortest day? Is it the shortest day of the month?
Yeah, one set. That's what Magic allows. Is not my fault. I didn't create the game. Don't get mad at me. I just play the game.
All I'm saying is, I know you almost fought with Nico. You ain't almost fight with Jerome.
Facts.
Or Tyrone.
Because Tyrone or Jerome aren't gonna mess with me. They cool with me. They fight because you know why? Because we brothers.
We don't know yet.
Oh, we will find out. I just Brandon was asking me before the show. If people don't know, I sent out for my ancestry. So when that comes back, I'm gonna be doing a live show with my brother my dad and my sister unveiling. And if it comes out that I'm so worried about what
92%.
If it comes out that you've got any black in you, your dad is going to be so disappointed.
Yes.
Caleb's gonna be sitting in the
I told you so.
Quiet. Just quiet.
No, Caleb gonna be like, I told you. No.
56% European. He's a CC. Told you. But the dunk contest, which was once you know what? When I think about the dunk contest, it has never really been good. Like there's been moments, but it's never been.
I think that there were times when it was good, but it's been a long time.
But it's like they have to do the same dunks over and over. You can't read.
I mean, some people actually.
That's the problem.
That is part of the problem. But
the further you go along, there's only so many things you can do with the human body and a normal vertical. Like you can't really.
Tyrone and Jerome sound like they got a foot and 100 pounds on Suge. Easy enough to draw off the over. No.
Wow.
First off, nobody's gonna have 100 pounds on me. Weight will never be a problem. Height, yes. 100 pounds, no.
You are terrible people.
He underestimated the height advantage.
Did you guys get to watch the All-Star game? I mean, I know you said you didn't watch the dunk contest. Did you watch the All-Star game?
No. I saw the highlights from the dunk contest. I didn't watch any of the All-Star game.
Yeah,
did you see that LeBron picked Kyrie Irving as a second pick, which was kind of hilarious.
He loves Kyrie.
He does. I think he appreciates Kyrie for what he helped.
Who was he going to pick? Kevin Durant?
Absolutely, I would have. Russell Westbrook going to the LA Clippers. What's your thoughts about that, Rodney?
That's exactly what a loser organization does. and yes, before anybody says that, I'm including the Lakers in that. LeBron is the only thing keeping them afloat. That's a garbage ass organization too right now.
Thanks. That team.
I don't know. They got D'Angelo Russell.
No. Listen, I will give Rob Pelinka credit for what he did at the deadline. I thought he made some good moves at the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was about a year and 6 months too late.
Yep.
Why would you trade for Russell Westbrook?
I didn't get that one.
Because they thought he was gonna be
They thought he was gonna do exactly what he did. He'd been doing that before he got to LA. just
Now, how
tread.
do you feel about this team now with D'Angelo, with AD,
Man,
with LeBron?
This is my whole problem with it, right? I think, I think they're going to get in, and I think they're going to make noise in the playoffs. I think it's a very good roster that they have right now, but I don't know why you would wait this late in the season, because now you're looking at where they've got to go, like 17-6 over the course of the rest of the season to get into the playoffs, right? And it's just like you could have done this a month earlier, and you'd be in a much better position right now. But they wait, and they had to have their hand forced to make these moves. But I do like the pairing of D'Angelo and LeBron, and to a lesser extent Anthony Davis. And I like the depth pieces that they brought in, and I just want to see them seriously consider moving Anthony Davis after the season.
Mr. J, I appreciate you, but that is far.
This is why everybody loves Mr. J.
From the truth. But I appreciate you for saying that. You made me feel better. Gave the best performance since Eric Gordon.
But that ain't Aaron Gordon didn't put on a good performance either.
Yeah, they were. I did the Duck Hustlers were Mo Bamba and Vanderbilt are promising on defense. Okay, well, I didn't see I didn't see exact trades the Lakers made. I'm hoping. I'm gonna probably look at that tonight.
Well, what they did is they moved out all of their trash, and they brought in D'Angelo Russell, Mo Bamba, Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, and before that, obviously they had brought in Hachimura.
I did laugh that Patrick Beverly posted a picture with D'Angelo and go back together again, and then not a couple minutes later they traded Patrick Beverly.
I love it.
Hey,
it was kind of poetic. It was pretty funny. What's up, Hendo?
Who's your team?
The Lakers. Have I been paying attention? No, I have not. Sorry.
I was just asking.
Hendo ain't been paying attention to his team either. The trash Warriors.
I know they got rid of Wiseman.
But I've been actually. I'll hit up Rodney and ask him like how the Lakers doing. I just haven't been paying attention. Now I'm gonna start paying attention a little bit more. Other than that, this weekend there wasn't really much going on in sports. And
a couple of really good boxing matches this past weekend. Not big names, but really entertaining fights.
The John Jones fight's gonna be coming up soon. I think next weekend, right? Not this weekend.
I'm not sure. I was gonna actually ask you what date that was because I did not know what
I think
date.
I think it's March 4th. I think it's March 4th. If I remember correctly, it is March 4th.
Wow.
Which is gonna be a great
That's
card.
Coming up real quick.
Yep.
Fast.
I'm excited to see that.
I'm excited, but also I don't want to stream. So
a lot of that's what my friends said because we were talking about watching it,
man.
and they're like, we don't really want to pay for John Jones.
Wow, raised this much?
No, they just don't support him.
I'm sure they don't.
Do they pay for Conor McGregor?
Yes.
No, but they do pay for Khabib.
I mean, Khabib's a great guy.
There you go.
But Khabib would tell you, never pay, brother.
UFC 286 though. You have Leon Edwards versus Usman.
That's a problem with UFC, man. That's way too close. You have a pay-per-view on March 4th and then a pay-per-view on March 18th. Not even WWE milks their customers like that.
No. WWE taking their time with all their stuff.
I cannot wait for WrestleMania. I can't.
Are you excited?
I am very excited. Extremely excited.
Yeah.
Who's fighting WrestleMania?
I think I might do a watch along for that. Oh, it's gonna be a two-nighter. It's Saturday, Sunday. The Cody Rhodes storyline, Sami Zayn storyline. There's a bunch of stuff going on.
Are you talking about Dusty Rhodes Kid?
Yes, one of them. Not the weirdo. The cool one.
hey, he was weird, but Goldust was the shit back then.
Yo, man, look, listen.
You talking about that?
No, not him. Not him.
Oh,
that's Dustin.
not Goldust.
That's Dustin.
Okay.
No,
now Dustin was great, but he was a weirdo. Right,
remember when he fought Roddy Piper at WrestleMania, and then Roddy Piper ripped his thing off, and he was wearing lingerie.
Yeah. But you got Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. You got Asuka versus Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair versus
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley. John Cena's coming back. He's gonna fight Austin Theory. People think.
Yeah, for the US title. I think you're gonna have Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar. You're gonna have
Brock Lesnar.
You're gonna have the Usos. You're probably gonna have the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Yeah. There's a lot. I'm excited for WrestleMania.
They've done a great job building up to it. Wrestling is good again.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But we talked about 286, which is going to be, like you said, Leon Edwards versus Usman. UFC 287, Rodney. The controversy. Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya. And Gilbert Burns versus George Masvidal.
That's a great lineup over that month. That's a great lineup over the month. I'm not paying for all three of them, Dana. That shit ain't happening.
You know who else is on that card that I'm excited to see? Rojas Jr. The kid that's still in high school versus Christian Rodriguez, 8-1 versus 7-0. That is going to be.
He's 18.
He's 18. He's still in high school.
You would probably know him as the kid that people make fun of because of the way he looks, because UFC fans are just, they're terrible people.
Because I think he has a cup flip, right? He has a cup flip.
I mean, I don't know for sure. Or he had one.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but he is 7-0. He's still in high school. And he's the youngest to get a UFC contract. He won. He fought in his first pay-per-view. Won I think it might have been prelims, but he won. Yeah. And now he's on the main card for this. So this is a big opportunity for him.
Nothing like earning it.
Well, he took the money he won from that fight, and he bought his mom a van.
Like a used one, because I know he didn't make no money on that fight.
probably used one, but still, it's the thought that.
That's great. I mean, he seems like a really good kid, and I hope that he has a long and successful career. I just hope that he does it outside of the UFC so he can make some money.
True. You know what? I know we're trying not to do this, but we need to do a UFC Ring Kings UFC and talk about how UFC doesn't pay their fighters. We should do a little thing on that Ring Kings.
Well, we don't talk UFC on Ring Kings. We do that on Lunch Break Hot Take. Well, we can do that. We can do that.
You do so many shows, Bronny. I don't know.
I don't think I do two shows.
You do Monday.
I do two shows.
Tuesday. You do Wednesday. You do.
I definitely don't do Tuesday. I'm pretty iffy on Monday.
Why do we gotta be? Why do we gotta be motherfuckers? Rude. Very rude.
Very rude.
Right? How you doing, Brandon? Hope you're having a good night.
Brandon's mad because Phoenix teams suck.
But I think that tonight has been some good conversations, good talk. If anybody else wants to bring any other topics, put it in the chat. We'll talk about them as we are saying our goodbyes. I'm trying to keep this under an hour and a half. Mr. Hendo.
Yes, sir.
Let the people know where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can see that great personality shine through the camera.
You can find me at Ravens Online. I'm Gatekeepers.
Why is he so miserable when he says that? Be a little enthusiastic. Come on, man.
You can find me at Ravens Online. I'm Gatekeepers on YouTube, doing videos, live streams. I'm not promising you no dates. Listen, it's really nothing going on right now, so I can't promise you anything. I promise you'll see me once a week somewhere.
Something going on right now. Hanging with Hendo.
That was a trial period.
And it was a rousing success.
I don't know about
there. If you do it this Saturday, I will be there.
I don't know about.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. Suge and Yolanda with Hendo.
And it's Saturday night.
I know it's not going to be Mr. Galloway. I took that screenshot. He was done with y'all. Y'all
He
look
will-
like a couple.
He will.
Y'all,
Be, if
y'all
I
look
do
like
it,
a
he
couple
will
of
be back.
mischievous 14-year-olds, and Mr. Galloway was sick of y'all.
He thought we were arguing for real. Like he was just uncomfortable because he was just like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. But yeah, so possibly if things can get worked out, possibly
Big Red has huge success.
I don't know about all that.
You got my man talking like Borat. You got to come back.
So possibly on Saturday nights we will do something.
Yes.
Live stream Sunday nights at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Haven't decided on the time yet. You can catch me on Monday nights with Brodney, Jose, OTR Mike, Chris Just Joking, and Coach Evans on Sip to Tally Films for the Ravens Roundtable. Apparently, I have no choice. You can catch me on Tuesday nights on Steel Conspiracy. I guess it just comes with the package. You can catch me on Fridays at 6 p.m. with my man, Mr. Galloway, talking all things hip hop, especially old school hip hop on Electric Relaxation with Mr. Galloway.
Y'all need to tune in and get your lecture from Hendo and Galloway because that list that y'all put together, disgusting.
Also, if you want to hang out with me and get in discussions like this and arguments and just have a whole lot of rousing fun, you can sign up to my Patreon at patreon.com/ROUG.
Rouge.
Shut your mouth. I'm done.
Like Mulan.
I'm done. So done.
And Bronny,
You need to watch the guests that you bring on here, Shook. They're so rude.
Wow, like who though?
Just people talking about some rouge.
That's what I thought it was. That's what somebody told me. So it is patreon.com/rouge.
Rouge.
And Bronny, where can the lovely people find
Damn
you
it first.
and find all your streams?
They can find me on Wednesday night on Lunch Break Hot Take at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, that is the one show that I do. That is the only show that I'm on. That is so inappropriate. It's not even funny. After that, we do the overtime show for patrons, and then there's Old Man Gamers is back. Not bad. But that's about it. No, we do have the Ring Kings podcast that Jose and I do with OTR Mike as well. We don't have a set streaming date for that show. We put out episodes on Monday at noon.
They feel like it.
Shut up. At Monday at noon, we have a lot of episodes coming. We got the new watch list coming. We got a review that we did with Suge for Ali coming out soon. We got the pound for pound update. Our top 10 pound for pound list was a lot of fun to put that together. That's coming soon as well. But yeah, we put out our episodes on Monday at noon, and you can follow us at Ring Kings Pod on all the social networks and also at LBHT Show.
And make sure you go check out that watch list. They just did one on all the females. Like it wasn't just one person. Well, the prominent females in boxing. It was fire. It was a fire video.
Absolutely was. Check it out. Make sure to follow. All their links will be in the description. Hopefully by the end of tonight, because I have been lacking. I know.
Unprofessional.
I know. I am. You know what, Hendo?
You're poor. You're broke, and no one gives a shit about you. And you need to realize that.
So you pretty much saying hard R, huh?
You call him poor.
That's where we're going with that.
First off, I'm not hard R Ricard, okay?
That's where we're going with this. I'm poor. I'm broke. And nobody likes me. That where we're going with this.
And broke. Like emphasis.
First off, everybody loves you, Hendo. So
that's true. That's true.
But thank you everybody for hanging out. Appreciate all of you.
Big Red.
Make sure to be here next Tuesday. Shout out to Big Red. Shout out to Jeremy Miller, Brandon Buckingham, Scorpio Queen for being here. All the follows, Caleb,
Jada6,
Jada6, Mr. Raven Seed. Appreciate you guys for being here. Have a good night. Be safe, and I will talk to you.
Zeke.
Raven Seed gonna be on Hang with Hendo on Saturday too.
Yeah, shout out to Zeke Kokage.
We'll see.
Image, your beats are so fire.
I feel we can beat the Browns. We can compete with Baltimore if they have Lamar, and we're right there with the Bengals.
That young man put his life on the line for you, for your entertainment.
We were talking all before the game. You know, everyone was like, "Nah, Ravens don't have a shot," and they're right there.